Hello guys, Untitled Chapter is coming at you with the second video in our Node.js tutorial series, and in this video I'm just going to show you how to set up a very basic web server with Node.js. If you think I'm going a wee bit fast, by the way, I'm basically going very fast because I think the best way to learn is to just get stuck straight in, to explain as I'm going along, and then you can actually see all the stuff in action as opposed to just in theory whenever we're, for example, looking through a PowerPoint or something. So basically, what I've done is just initialized a Node project in this vid2 folder, and so basically what we're going to first of all do, we'll just open it up and we'll create an index.js file. So index.js, and what we'll do as well is we'll create inside of here we'll create a folder called views, and what this is going to do is this is going to hold our HTML that we're going to serve to the client if they make a request. So inside of here then we'll just create an index.html just so that we have it in here. So what we're first of all going to do then at this point is there's a very good module called Express, and basically this simplifies the process of making a web server. It can allow us to set custom routes very easily, and yeah, it's just generally very good. So to require a module in our project, what we do is express equals, and then we use this require keyword, and then what we're going to do is we're going to require this module express. So where does express come from then? Basically whenever we require express, if we just do node index now, then it's going to say can't find module express. So what we need to do is basically whenever we don't specify, so if we specify /express, we could make a file called express, a JS file called express in the project directory, and it would go and get that instead. But if we just say express, it looks in the node modules folder. So as you can see, we don't have the node modules folder yet because we haven't actually installed any node modules. So we just need to do npm i express, and that will go out and it will get express for us. And at this point then we're able to use express. So if we type node index, it will just exit the process just like that. So with express, to set up express, we need to create an app. So we can just say const app, and then we can call this express function. So that's basically our app created then. So what we need to do now is we need to set up like some sort of route, so whenever we request. So how we do that is we use a method called app.get, and then inside of here we can specify a route to get. So in this case I'm just going to say slash, then we're going to have a callback function which has request and response objects in it, just like this. So first of all, what we're going to do is we need a port to listen on. So by default, like, it just won't listen. So we need to specify a port. It's not like default 80 or anything. So we can just say app.listen, and then I was from like a random port 3037, and that will listen for HTTP requests coming in. So to start very, very simply, we're not even going to have anything to do with this views folder or serve any actual HTML. We can just, first of all, there's a method side called res.end, and basically inside of here then we can end the response with anything we want. So we could just say hello, and this is our server setup. It doesn't look like much, but this is an HTTP server setup. So if I just go to my browser here, sorry, we'll run the server first. So start the server, then we visit the browser, and as you can see, hello is returned to the browser. So that's the simplest way to set up a web server. There are a few different methods that I want to show you about first. So we can set a header. So we can just say res.header, and then we can set anything we want in here. So for example, in our case, we can just do text/plain if we're just serving plain text to the browser. And then as you can see in the networking, we can see here, so that didn't work. So I need to restart the server. Actually, coming on to the restarting the server thing, there's a module called nodemon. So you can just type in npm i -g nodemon, and -g means that it gets installed in your system. So we don't need to be in this project. We can call nodemon from anywhere. And basically what nodemon does is if I start nodemon index instead, then basically what happens is if we make a change to the file, just do this, then it automatically restarts the server then at this point. So yeah, as I said, if we refresh this, we go and look, text/plain. So we can also do text/HTML. So what if, for example, this was a 404 page instead? we can do res.status as well. So for example, if we set res.status 404, just as an example then, we can see in the browser it comes up status 404 here. So that's just HTTP status code there. But let's just forget about these now because Express sets those for us unless you're doing something like a 404 page. So we've looked at res.end. Now what we can do is instead of actually putting something in here, we want to read a file. So for example, in our case, this is index.html. So first of all, we're going to require a module. It's called fs for file system, and then this will allow us to like interact with the file system around us. So fs module has a good method called read file and read file sync. So that would be like a synchronous and an asynchronous versions of reading a file. So we're just going to use the synchronous version so we can use it in here, and it's just read file sync. So the first argument in here is going to be the path of the file that we want to read. So we can just do /views/index.html. The second parameter is the encoding, otherwise we're just going to get a buffer returned to us. So UTF-8 will ensure we actually get the HTML out of here. So for example, in the HTML then, we're just going to do, this is the home page, and we can save that. Now at this point then, we don't need to restart the server because it does it automatically for us, Node.js. And then if we refresh the page, we can see H1, this is the home page. So that's a little bit awkward to do. So basically what we can do is we can pass in a view engine. So what a view engine allows us to do is very, very easily render content from our server into a view. So this might be going a wee bit too fast, but we'll just go with it. If you don't understand this, then maybe watch it a few times, maybe have a go. But basically, there's a module called handlebars. This is a view engine. You can use other ones. Another popular one is EJS, but I've just always used handlebars, and I think handlebars, the syntax is better on it. I just think handlebars is better. So now that we have this handlebars, we need to set up handlebars. So just about in here then, we can say const handlebars, and it's going to be equal to handlebars.create. So inside of here then, we can just pass some config stuff in here. You can go check out the handlebars documentation to find out all the config. But for now, I'm just going to pass in extension name. The extension name is going to be html.html even. So this basically just means that whenever it's searching, it'll go out and look for .html files. If we set this in here to being like something else, .alm, just anything, then it will go out and look for .alm. You can, you know, make up your own file extensions or whatever, and it'll still recognize it. So obviously we do need to install Express handlebars now in our command line, and we can restart the server. So at this point then, we have this handlebars created. We basically need to tell our server to use this as the view engine. So Express lets us do this very easily. We can just say app.engine, and then we can call this HTML, and then basically it's going to associate this HTML with handlebars.engine. So engine is what inside handlebars is going to parse the HTML that we pass in and, you know, render it as a view. So we can now do app.set, and then this is called view engine, and then this is going to be HTML. As I say, we could pass in app.engine HBS, then view engine HBS, but I'm just going to keep it HTML just because of the syntax highlighting whatever in there, and it's just easier because then I can use like the live server and stuff, which it doesn't do with the handlebars files. Anyway, then we can just say we need to set a view directory. So this is going to be where handlebars goes and looks, or Express goes and looks for the HTML files. So we can just say app.set views, and then we specify the directory path in here. So for us, this is the same as down here, /views, and then that's just us now. So at this point, we have this all set up. So how do we use this? Instead of this, we can just do res.render, and then we can just pass an index in here. So at this stage, this should be all sorted then. We should be able to render index in here, and we get the exact same thing as actually reading the file. But one thing that I will say about handlebars that you're not seeing yet is we can pass in an object in here as the second parameter. So if we pass in an object and we just say hello is equal to hey there inside of here. Inside of handlebars then, it has a syntax that you probably won't have seen before, and this is double curly braces in here. So basically what we can do is we can refer to this object that we passed in the curly braces in here. So by default it's like this. So instead of saying this, we can just directly say hello. And hopefully inside of here then, this is going to be whatever we pass in the object. So handlebars basically just parses all the HTML. It replaces all these curly, everything between the curly braces with what we passed in here. So we should just see an H1 with hey there logged in here. So we see that okay. And yeah, that's basically the advantage of handlebars. Actually, you know what, I'll go into handlebars in more detail in the next video. I'm just going to pause this video for now, and we'll go into handlebars and look at it a wee bit further in the next video. Thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you next time.